At the core of many wounds is the hunger to be chosen, to be seen, to be recognized as special. For some, ordinary love never feels like enough. It has to come from someone larger than life, a public figure, a person the whole world admires. She began as just another fan, watching personalities and influencers online. But little by little, admiration wasn't enough. She started spinning a story in her own mind, a reality that didn't exist. She convinced herself she was bound to one man in particular, an actor she had never met, a man who didn't even know her name. Her fantasy grew so consuming that she quit her job, moved to the country where he lived, told herself it was destiny. And if she could only get close enough, she could prove their connection to him. In her desperation, she wrote him a long message on social media, a letter filled with fantasies of destiny. She claimed she knew someone in his circle, and even said that person told her they were meant to be together. None of it was real, but in her mind it was proof, and pressing send felt like sealing their fate. When silence met her longing, her thoughts whispered, "Resistance only means it's real. Push harder, he will come around." When old photos surfaced of him with another woman, jealousy twisted into certainty. That's the obstacle. Remove her in your mind and he will be free. This wasn't love. This was obsessive fantasy disorder. Most of the time, people with this pattern remain harmless. They prefer to live inside their own daydreams instead of building ordinary connections in the real world. But sometimes, the fantasy crosses a line. They insert themselves into a stranger's life, show up at their workplace, or even their home. That's when fantasy becomes stalking, and that's when it can turn dangerous. But the man understood something vital. When he lives in the public eye, there will always be those who step beyond admiration and try to cross into his private world. That is why discernment matters. Choosing who he allows into his life, knowing which connections are safe and which ones are attempts to invade. Because sometimes, strangers appear out of nowhere, trying to insert themselves into his circle. And not every connection is safe. But protection is never passive. It does not happen by accident. It comes from intention, from daily prayers and rituals that draw a clear boundary around his life. He kept a simple practice. Each morning when he woke, and each night before sleep, he spoke words that set his boundaries clear. All controlling and manipulative energy projected onto me never lands. It bounces off my shield and returns to its sender. No harm can come to me, the people I love, or the people they love. My life is my own. My energy is my own. Only what is true and what I choose with intention is allowed to enter. Through this practice, he is protected. His relationships are protected. The people closest to him are protected. And when the words were spoken, a deep peace settled over him, the knowing that nothing could interfere with his sovereignty or his relationships.